wholeheartedly believe that the more aligned you are with your gift, the more fulfilling your life is. Hi, doll, and welcome back to the Pink Mic. I am so excited to connect with you guys again this week. This is going to be another Motivation Monday video week. I think I mentioned to you guys before, but one of my superpowers is encouragement. It just comes from me so naturally. And one of the things that I want to continue doing is honing in on what I'm good at. And one of the things that I'm really good at is encouragement and motivation. I'm going to say this: you don't have time to waste. Your dreams are waiting on you. This is a video near and dear to me because I very much believe that everyone was placed on this earth for a very specific reason. And when I say dreams, I more am focusing on, unless there's two sets that you could be thinking more about. One is you leaning into what your calling or your gift is, that gift that was put in you for you to use in the world to make it a better place. And then there's also like your dreams, like maybe there's a dream of you starting a particular business. That is another aspect that you may be thinking about. So for me, it could really go either way. As of lately, both of those dreams are almost the same difference. I'm in a space where I want to know and believe that I'm using my time wisely. We all want to believe that we're going to be here until we're 100. Maybe everybody doesn't want to live to 100, but we want to live a long life. And sometimes I think about people as life-changing and instrumental, as like Tupac. I am almost positive he died or passed away at 23, 24. Imagine if he was lackadaisical in showing up in the world in which he was created to be. He changed the world in the best kind of ways. And imagine if he was like, oh, I'm too young, that's too much responsibility, I'm just trying to relax and enjoy myself. You know what I mean? What if that was his mindset? He wouldn't have had a legacy to leave behind, but he hit the ground running the way it almost appears based on what has been out there in social media as far as videos and documentaries that have been placed or created around him, right? And so, not saying that everyone is going to die younger or pass away at a younger age, but we all know that at some point we will pass, right? And so the goal is to maximize your life. And you maximize your life by aligning and learning and understanding what your gift is and doing your absolute best to maximize that gift in the world. I wholeheartedly believe that the more aligned you are with your gift, the more fulfilling your life is. I pay attention to things and people. I am like so in love with documentaries. And so I tend to watch a lot of documentaries about people and how they got to where they were and how they are using their time on earth. And it feels like there's a large majority of people who make good money, which is the goal, right? Because money solves a lot of problems that we won't need to deal with because we can pay for it to be resolved, which is amazing, right? But in addition to the money, some, not all, but some tend to not be fulfilled. And it happens that some will actually, excuse me, my nose, whew, they tend to maybe take their own lives or donate all their money in hopes of eliminating maybe that feeling of emptiness because they want that feeling of fulfillment. Every human wants to feel fulfilled. And ultimately, being fulfilled is maximizing your lane. If you guys have been watching me, a few of my videos have been around maximizing your life. I'll use different titles. One was how to know if you're standing on business about yourself. And another title was how to guarantee that you'll win in 2024. And one of the major things that I focus on is maximizing your lane. And maximizing your lane is important because you are in your lane. And there are a ton of amazing elements that come with you. And doing your best to evolve emotionally, socially, mentally, spiritually, and all of that is going to contribute tremendously to the life balance that you will create for yourself, and in turn will be able to teach others how to also implement a life balance for themselves, right? Because what does the saying say? Each one teach one. Why do you not have time to waste? And why do you not want to drag your feet on reaching your goals? Obviously your goal is important, and it is that goal obviously is something that you imagine will make your life more balanced, more fulfilled. That level of happiness and pleasure will increase tremendously if you make it to that particular goal, even if it's temporary. Our life is about progression. And have you guys ever learned or watched or have learned or heard about the elderly when they're in their old age? They are always trying to do things that keep their minds sharp so that they don't begin to maybe more or less die mentally, which leads to the quality of their life going down, which ultimately may lead to them passing sooner than expected. And so a lot of times you'll see a lot of them playing Scrabble or things that require them to think and reason and learn and understand so that they can stay sharp mentally. I think that is extremely important. One reason why you may want to not waste time on achieving your dream is because really if nothing changes and the goal was set so that you can create a more balanced life for yourself. And so if you don't put into place any steps to reach that goal, which will bring you a more fulfilling life, a more fulfilling day to day, then you'll be here next year having the same complaint. And truth be told, if you have ever put any of your life on hold, how it feels to be sitting in a space and thinking about all of the time wasted or all of the things that you feel like you should have accomplished, but you have not. And it just makes for a very unhappy inner being. It just feels like you're sitting idly and watching the world pass you by, when reality is it's more of the people that you are paying attention to that have decided to put some action behind their desires of more. So remember that if nothing changes, meet yourself where you are. If your goal is to make it to the NBA, I'm just using an example, but maybe you can't afford to be on with a particular coach or on a particular team, or maybe the team that you will want to practice with is too far away, you can't afford to get there, or whatever that obstacle is. You may not be able to get where you need to go to get that special training or hands-on support, but you can maybe watch those videos or utilize social media to find out who you can emulate and mimic, and just choose to practice one thing until you get extremely good at it and then move on to something else. Because at the end of the day, it's that one thing that is going to motivate you to move to the next thing. The saying goes, what you do with one thing, you do with everything. And so if you have the care and concern to make it to where you want to go in life, and you choose to do one thing that you can do over and over and over and over until you maximize it, that means when the next thing comes to you or you move on to the next thing, you're going to do the same thing with the next step as you did with the first step. Does that make sense? People tend to just do enough and they wonder why their life is just barely thriving. It can be because you're not really putting forth a lot of effort, enough effort. When I was in the early stages of wanting to start this YouTube channel, I could talk about it for hours and days, and I would Google and look up this and look up that. But it wasn't until I actually decided to get up, figure out what setting my phone camera needed to be on, find the proper lighting, and actually decide to turn the camera on and talk. And actually, I ain't editing videos yet, but upload the video with the thumbnail. That's when I knew that I was being about business, because I really want to just cultivate a channel where you can come for unadulterated truth that you can apply to your life, that can help you. If nothing else, I want to reassure you when you're in those spaces of the in between starting and finishing, in the middle. I want to be in that space with you to help encourage you to keep going, because that middle can be long. But if you just know and believe that you're going to make it to the end because you started, I'll help you through the middle. Remember that God gave everyone the same 24 hours in a day. And so even today, right? I'm a full-time employee, I'm a mom, I'm in a new state, I'm trying to get settled in and all of that good stuff. And so a lot of things I am taking on so that I can create some sort of stability for my daughter and I. And so I am feeling like I'm overwhelmed in all of the things. And I was scrolling on social media and I was like, look at this lady, or look at that lady, or look at this guy, or look at that guy. I can tell that they have not made it quote unquote big on social media. And so they are, like, you can tell that they're recording their videos on their breaks or their lunches, or they're doing what they can with the time that they have. And it really was a motivation to me. Like, you're not the only person working full time. You're not the only person who's a parent. You're not the only person taking on other things. And although I want to give myself grace in the space that I'm in, I don't want to give myself so much grace that it turns into excuses. And so remembering that I have the same amount of time, and the way that I am going to win is first and foremost consistency, which I have control over. So I am in control of starting, which I did. And then I am in control of consistency, which is the goal. And I am in control of the quality of the videos that I am uploading, because I get to decide how it goes, how it looks. And so I believe in myself, and I know that if I keep going, it'll continue to get better and better. And so I am going to keep going. And so you guys, I know that I don't know when the journey is I don't know when this is going to blow up, but in the meantime, I'm going to keep going, because ultimately my goal is to put out content of encouragement. And if I have 3 views or 3 million views, my goal was fulfilled, right? And so there's that. Another point, you only get one life, so you may as well maximize it. I have had a few passings in my family that really affected me deeply. And in those spaces, they always take you somewhere mentally, and it makes me think about the legacy these people left behind. And one in particular is my cousin who passed away recently. And everyone had the same things to say about her. They were saying like how caring she was, and she was always checking in and making sure everybody was okay, and she would help you if you asked. Like, she was a great human, and I was so grateful to know her and to be able to say the very same things about her. And even though I know that her boys are probably hurting deeply, they have so many great memories because she decided to show up and be the best mom that she could be, and the best person, be a great example for her too, for them too. And so I'm really grateful for that. And I think about my legacy. I think about, what am I leaving behind? What are people going to say about me? Am I affecting people in a more positive way than a negative way? What is going to be my legacy? And one of the things for me is to do a little bit more than I did the day before or the year before. I really want to show that if you take a chance on yourself and if you believe in yourself, that you really can do anything that you put your mind to. Like, I want to be the poster girl for that, because I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I don't have help. So it's me. And so if anything else, I absolutely am going to go out of my way to really press that gas, to be an example, a living example that you really can do this. Like, you really can do this. And while I am on my journey to more, I am actively following people on social media and friending people who are also in that space of, by any means necessary, I'm going to reach my goals. And so I think that is another reason for you to be motivated to get up and get moving on your goals. I also touched on leaving a legacy. I want to leave a legacy child, and for her children and her children's children. Some people we read about in the books, and we don't always think about leaving legacies in present time, but just know that whatever you accomplish and don't accomplish is contributing to the legacy. And so if, like, I talk to my mom and my aunts, and they have great things to say about my grandparents, who I never got to meet because they passed before I was born. But who knew that I would feel like more of a hustler, because I heard that my grandfather was very much a hardworking man, and he took pride in taking care of his family. Imagine if he was a bum. I wouldn't even be able to be like, my grandfather did it with all of these kids and a wife, and living in Jim Crow days and all of that kind of stuff. And he didn't let none of that stop him. So if it didn't stop him, I'm not going to let it stop me. And so I want my daughter and my legacy, my family on both sides, to feel proud to be connected to me, to be attached to me. I want to be a blessing while I'm on the earth, and I want to be an encouragement when I leave the earth. And this is yet another reason that you want to get up and really get into it and get your goals started. Okay, last but not least, you guys, a lot of times, let me just get straight to me. A lot of times I can be focused on what I do not have to do things. I like to do things on a quality level. And so, like, even earlier I was telling my daughter, like, Mom, I need a better backdrop. I need this. I need a better lighting. I need this and that. And my daughter was like, but you already have what you need. It may could be better, but for what you have, you're doing fine. So just keep working with what you have. And I was like, you're completely right. It had me thinking a little deeper of the things like, I'm a faith girl. So I'm like, you're not really leaning into your faith, right? And so I don't need faith that my hair is going to grow. Like, my hair doesn't need anything from me. Like, the cycle of life doesn't need anything from me. What the best I can do is take care of myself. But as far as me breathing air into my lungs every morning to wake me up, that's not me. My nails growing and me having to get them cut or done, that's not me. My skin growing with my body, which is a crazy phenomenon, that's not me. My heart beating on its own, that's not me. And so the biggest, hardest things are covered. So with me having those big things covered, I can figure out the rest. Do you know what I mean? I can figure out the rest. And just like I can figure out the rest, you can figure out the rest. In closing, my message to you is just get up and just try. It doesn't matter if you feel like it should be better, you don't have enough time, work within the time and the resources that you have. If you are only I don't know, say you work 23 hours a day, which is crazy, but it could be somebody, but you really want to start your YouTube channel or whatever you want to do, turn the camera on and record while you're on your way home, because you got to drive home or make it home anyway. That's just what I mean by, if this is something you really want to do, or anything for that matter, you have the resources. And the biggest resource you have is your faith and belief that what is in you will make room for you. The Bible says your gift will make room for you. And when I say that, I see it around me all of the time. I see people who are extremely successful and wasn't even reaching for success, but they were locked in on what they were good at. And that gift attracted people who wanted to pay them for something that they just wanted to create, because they really had pride in what they did. And so just take a chance, and trust me, this time next year, you will be elated at where you are in life. So I hope this video was really beneficial to you. Like, I even encouraged myself a little bit recording this video, but I just want you to know that we are May, we're a quarter, we're almost 2 quarters into the year of 2024. So let's end this year on a high note. And your high note will be you starting. So start and let's get it, because you're going to be proud of yourself this time next year, okay? Talk to you later.